Hello there, everyone. This is Mark III, and welcome back to Cosmoteer. Hooray, Cosmoteer. And the adventures of the Grand Shaft. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're going to pick up directly where we left off last time. As you know, I've already pre-fired the beam to get a line up on it. And we're going to reinforce and get this iron prism beam array sorted out, because there's been a suggestion on that, and Polar Bear mentioned something very important actually about these things and why they aren't a meta in competitive, which I honestly hadn't thought of. So it's vaguely important, and it's why it needs fixing post haste. So let us begin, shall we? First off, I think we're going to leave these two where they are, but I'm thinking maybe I should just go ahead of the curve now and just move the main section forward up here, just because that seems to be where the entire thing is going, you know? So that's what I'm currently thinking. I'll just grab all of this. I'm going to leave those big boosters where they are, and I want to leave the power room where it is as well, actually. Let's go ahead and actually copy that, and then I'll delete that. We could become a Hydra. We can have two heads, or even three, but no. One is all I want, and I'm going to move it forward to about... Let's leave a little bit of space just in case. Let's put it there. And that's why I grabbed the power core as well, because if I did that then and left the power core here, because I want the power core to be close to the ion beam array, honestly, because that is, I think, a very good position for it to be feeding, or maybe even just move it upwards a little bit. But yes, we're getting a third power core, and we can easily afford it, but I don't want to increase the distance to the forward shield arrays, you know? So that's why I want to try and get that reinforced at least a little bit. So that's why I did that. Silly of me, I know, but... oops, wrong button. Silly of me, I know, but hey, details. Let's just go ahead and get the entire thing back in place, shall we? Of course, this also means that I can get rid of some of this stuff. Maybe I'll move the control room out a little bit. Yeah, we're going to get somewhere at the very least. So there we go. One more massive stretch of corridor, which I'll leave completely unarmored, so my ship can easily be snapped in half, like it was a few episodes back. I mean, no, I don't make any mistakes. Nothing went wrong. You were imagining things. Yes. Now, I've left the iron beam where it is because I want to keep that. Was it 22.5 degrees angle just in there? I want that just so that it maintains the protection around this area and protects these prisms at the very least. And then Raz commented on Discord that ideally I should have like an additional set of prisms. So let's actually put that in. So he points out that if the forward prism gets shot off, so it's in the same vein as what Polar Bear mentioned, which is... I'll actually read it out of order, so just so I get Polar Bear's comment out first. Iron prisms have the least health of any weapon in the game at only 2,000 hit points, and a single shot from most weapons would kill it. That's why leaving them exposed doesn't work out very well in the tournament. And that is an incredibly good point. I never actually checked the health on these things. So yeah, only 2,000 hit points. Ouch. But there we go. So now we've got the this beam pointing forward, then this beam will be the focusing beam to angle it in a forward arc. I was honestly kind of toying with maybe making a tournament ship. But my thought was like I'd actually make it like a multi-beam frigate for anyone that's actually played Home or Cataclysm. So it'd be like it would operate like the current ion ships. It would focus everything down into a single central point, and then it would then have one central bit here, which would act like a. It'd probably be about here. Then that would be a focusing crystal, but then it could angle itself, and then it would mainly be armor. And I could reorient this to angle to a different focusing crystal, at different cardinal points around this central relay, just so that no matter what angle the target is, I can always get a crystal charged up with my full potential of an ion beam and just try and tag it. That was my thought on that, but given how weak the focusing prisms are, that's actually not that good an idea, I don't think, anymore. So yeah, let's make it all so. Okay, I just need to link you forward to that, and you forward to that. So there we go. So now that's got that. This is how long the ship can be, because of course we're already at the end of the grid. So now we just need to get the rest of it armed up. But on the bright side, this leaves plenty of space for like missiles and things to go into it. So lots and lots of lovely room for customization, in big quotation marks. Yes, lots and lots of room. Okay, just to make sure it doesn't get snapped in half. And it looks a bit more like a staff now, or a shaft, or I don't know. That, though Happy Afer's comment, which was the oldest, which is why I was planning to have it go first, is actually a bit on point on this. So, Happy Afer's comment is, if you add arms/legs to the ship, it would look like an ant. Well, I guess I technically have now, haven't I? Oh dear. But yeah, if I had arms or legs to the ship, it would look like an ant. And I think I'll add maybe a treble shield in that area, just like 2 primaries, then 1 backup. So it's not as heavy as the forward shielding, but it'll provide some decent protection, because, of course, the problem is that I can't actually armor up the front around the crystal, so that's a thing that I need to actually try and sort out. Bob. And of course, I'll actually need to do something about those, and those as well, actually, now, because that's getting kind of solid. I'm actually thinking of doing like a separate power section here, so it's like more restricted, but the shields will just run off a single generator or something. Okay, so he then goes on to say, I notice you have very few fire extinguishers. I don't know what's a good ratio, but should probably add some more once you're done with the missile sections. Yes, I very much agree. When we get the missile sections in, more would be a spectacularly good idea. Mainly because Bernie Death is not the best way to go, as far as I'm concerned. Should I... Is a 45 degree enough? I kind of want to get a bit more value out of the crystal, but that means I want to get a bit better armor, which means I have to actually move it forward. Also, I just realized I can't have that shield there because there's a beam going to be going straight through that, so it's a bad idea. Oh dear. Whoops. I guess that'll do. It does leave a bit of a shield weak point there, which I'm going to fill in, because now I'm thinking this will look a bit more like a hammerhead, more than anything. Anyway, sorry. Then Nell... No, that's not right. Hello Hell. Oh wow, I think that's a name I've not heard in quite some time. Hello Hell. Hello, hello. Hello Hell replied to Happy Afer, pointing out he doesn't need many fire extinguishers as he has a low door count, and if we had to, and if it was set on fire that badly, he would already be dead. Very fair point. But yeah, I also agree with, like as I said, the fact that I actually need to have more as the ship grows, especially the missile sections, because the missile sections are slightly explosive. What size reactor should I put into this area? I mean, a small reactor is not going to be enough. Maybe a medium? Yeah, a medium reactor in each side. Let's be fancy. Though that'll cost me 100 grand straight up if I do it that big. But it will reinforce that section at the very least, I suppose. Look at me, I'm being all expensive. I'm splashing out. I'm a big spender. And I need to make sure I get enough people to make sure I can actually do all this. That's not a good way to do this. Because there's the problem of, like, if you have too many people operating in one area, then it can cause issues. Also, the shield system is actually slightly exposed if it was to get breached, so I need to actually shift it slightly to either side to armor at least the central corridor to make sure it doesn't get blown up by accident if the shield crystal actually gets hit. Electrobolts in particular, if they got in straight through there, would kill these shields so fast. There we go. Right, that's connected the least. Hey, we're making progress. Making progress. Okay. Next comment is actually from Hello Hell as well. So, Hello Hell, you get 2 comments in a row technically. Congratulations, I suppose. But yeah, Hello Hell points out that... sorry, sorry. I think I'm kind of losing it right now. That's why I've been quiet for the last few days. It's like... Hello Hell says, good ship design, though I have found a flaw. Please, do tell. Currently not equipped to deal with multiple targets. I suggest making a gunboat, something small for flanking and defense. Flat guns work best there. That's actually a fair point, and when I was first installing the ion beam, honestly, I was toying with having a I was toying with actually getting a supporting ship installed, except what I was poking around with at that point was not actually a gunboat, as you say. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing that. It wasn't actually a gunboat. It was I suppose it was a gunboat, but the problem is it was actually an ion beam gunboat. As in, you know how I'm firing a beam out to this and then this? The idea was I'd have one on the side, then this would bounce out to a separate ship, and then the ship would be flying around and strafing the other guy using the ion beam from the main ship. Good theory, but unfortunately the turning rate of these crystals and the fact that the other ship flies around so much is like... It didn't work too well, so it kept losing the beam. Interesting, but not actually viable, as far as I could tell. Actually, I think I want to grab... Let's get a way out. Actually, let's put that there. And that'll be a connection. So yeah, I was toying with that, and one thing I realised was that I was actually struggling to really control the other ship as it was moving around. So I wasn't sure what to make of that, so I just left it when I realised that my idea to connect the ion beams wouldn't work too well. Getting another ship to help would also be a good idea, but it's like I kind of want to try and stick with one... Actually, I've just messed that up again, haven't I? Stick with one actual... I'm getting so distracted, aren't I? Yeah, stick with one actual main ship, and then equip this ship to engage multiple targets. So I think that's kind of what I'm going to be going towards. And I think let's have a power room over here as well. And then I think I'm going to take a little bit out of Ben's comments in the previous ones. Let's go ahead and actually equip an electrobolt secondary system on the tips here, at least. So this should help at least a little bit. Of course, the problem with electrobolts is the power drain. So yeah, but these guys will have angle to face something if it's a reasonable distance in front. And they will have armor protection as well. That's why I've staggered them a little bit. It will be a bit steep, but it'll do something, at the very least. Maybe I should add another reactor in there. More reactors! That's the answer to everything. More reactors. Definitely. That's that. Door. Door, 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 door. And, of course, we can't forget the good old fire extinguishers, since this is a separate area. So if this catches fire, no one from the main area can actually get to it. I think that'll be good. And let's put one over here, too, just in case. There we go. Hooray! Extra 36 crew split into 2 separate areas, which is, of course, adding significant mass to the ship, but... How bad is that, really? I like to think not very. especially since I am adding some armor plating in as well and things. But the extra mass is, of course, going to be an issue for turning and stuff like that, especially since I took out some turning thrusters. So, yeah. But that should be the housing for our ion beam array, giving it a fairly wide forward arc. And on the sides, we've got the electrobolt system and things like that. There we go. Now, that said, though, this is actually really expensive, and I have kind of sunk a lot of saving into it, especially those big reactors. So maybe I've done it a bit too... Have I gone a bit overboard with the reactors? I don't know. Only you guys can answer that. Is this too much DACA? Have I done an oopsie? I think it's a very relevant thing to ask. Have I done an oopsie? Maybe, maybe not. What I have done is I beefed it up, and I think maybe we can add some more forward weapons, like maybe some flak batteries would be good in the front. And I'm thinking like point defenses could do with being out here. I mean, this is completely unprotected. Stuff like that. And I was thinking maybe have some... Oops. Daisy. I was thinking maybe have some... I keep getting distracted, sorry. Shows I'm not at my best, doesn't it? Right. I was thinking maybe have some engines built into here as well, just so that it can like operate, and that can help with forward thrust and also help it with like turning thrust too. So like maybe a booster drive up here, and then that'll be fed straight out of there. Yeah. I can see that working. Well, I've blown a whole load of money on a couple of things, but hopefully it'll be worthwhile. We've got some armor, we've got a little bit of extra thrust, though our weight has increased more than our thrust has. We've lost some turning force, sadly. So that is something that needs some attention. Let's move the huge engines out slightly. Yeah, let's move them there. And I'll just install a couple of... Oh, that's slightly too much. Okay. Yeah, we need to get more funds. We need to murder some people. Yes. But on the bright side, I might have... Well, I probably have overcrewed that area up top really, really badly. So I've overcrewed it as a just-in-case measure, most likely. But it's like, you'll need to move a lot of people around when the shields get hit. So, but I'm always up to try this. So, right. Big reactor, spare battery to act as a buffer. These guys, part of the reason there's a buffer is that, as you can see, they get really slow when they're trying to cross that. But that needs to be exposed because that's where the beams go through. So let's test fire it. It's this one. No issues at all, so it is just the railguns. Okie doke. Okay, we have ourselves a thing. I don't know what the hell it is, but we've got ourselves a thing. Right, moving on. Next comment is from Lollard saying bad translation. Means a small power room. Need to? Yeah. So basically Lollard is confirming what I said last time. It's like he was meaning like a small power room connected to each of the engine blocks and then power would come from that. Though, as I said, it's like I was using too much power in the engines for that to actually be maintained. And did I forget something? Oh, right. Whoops. Red, you're over there, you're generals. So you guys can actually work on the battery room as well. There we go. Oops. Actually, what's the jump efficiency like, actually? I mean, my jump reserve has actually dropped quite a lot. Let's see. If I jump to the one next to me, that is 349. Ouch. Okay, I need to look at jump efficiency, actually. Yep. Okay, I'm thinking grab these drives and move them over to this area. If I put them here, that almost catches it properly. But if I move it there, then it needs to be somewhere in this area. So I guess like about here, about here-ish. Yeah, about there. Though that, of course, leaves the central core without a FTL drive too. So my FTL is actually kind of bad. And I'm also really low on money as well. So I might have overdone this a bit. Okay, so right now our FTL efficiency is at 31%. If I put like, I don't really want a dual core, I think, and maybe a single core is all I need. And something to bring up in the middle, like that. Confirmed. And I need something down here as well. Because, yeah, look at that. It's really, really bad. That gets up to 85%. What's it missing? It's kind of missing that area there, so I do kind of need another one up here. Or I just move it up slightly and swap it with the battery room. Like that. Yep. Okay, that's 86% now. Problem is, this is another 18,000 credits in terms of like refit. So that's not good. Also, the fact that this is like blocking the central corridor, so people can't really easily get through it too. Let's downgrade this reactor actually to a large, because it's only feeding into the ion beam system. It's not actually needing anything else at the moment. So that can go like that. And then I'll also add in moving walkways. Just so that we got a fast bypass around that area for anyone trying to go to and fro. But that should hopefully help. Let's see if our jump range can actually work now. We have got... Oh, look at that. Such a huge difference. Okay, off we go. Whee! Off we go. Right. Moving on to comments. I may appear a bit lackluster in terms of actually getting to the comments, but that is actually because... Are you guys gonna... Oh, yes, you are. Right. I maybe a bit of... words. Part of that is, as I said, I'm not doing too well, so I'm kind of spaced a bit. The other part is there's actually less comments, and they're shorter than the previous couple of parts as well. So I've actually got much more freedom in getting to everybody. Oh, there's no actual doors there. Whoops. I'm forgetting everything today, aren't I? There we go. Oh, there's no fire extinguisher in the middle either. Honestly, we were just talking about this, and I've not done it. Fire extinguishers. I will install a couple in there, just to make sure that there's adequate. So there's some there, there's some back there, there's some up here. There's a couple in each wing section. Okay, that should be okay. So let's let this abomination of science go and do stuff. Right. Next comment. Damodox comment is: I wonder how well a cannon-based broadsider would do in this. Hello, hey. Wait, is that an I? No, hello, hell. Sorry, I was getting it right the first time. Hell responded saying that cannons used to be the meta. They are useful and all, but shields, point defense, and flak guns are a hard counter. I did notice that the PD guns could shoot up to incoming cannon shells, but... oh, here we go. Right, we are against... a thing. We are against the... I almost said against the Grand Shaft, but no, we're against the Peninsula. It's got missiles, it's got lasers. Let's target the... then that. So all that lined up. Let's see what the Grand Shaft decides to do. That's something. We don't have good point defense coverage anymore. Actually, we didn't have good point defense coverage anyway. Yeah, look at that. That beam is going straight for the prism. Now here comes some ion shots in response. Just wondering why this thing is not firing. You are... Oh, wait, no, I deleted and rebuilt these. Whoops. Right, that'll be why. Relink you to there. Relink you to there. That should work now. Ideally. You guys are linked up, aren't you? Oh, and there goes explosives. Oh, and there goes an ion beam. Yes, okay. Whoops. Okay. So that didn't work because I forgot. I deleted those to get a straight angle out of that ion beam you saw at the start. Sorry, I did it on that side. So I had to delete that to get a straight ion beam out so I could see where I was placing them because I was thinking of moving these further forward. Then I didn't, but I forgot to relink the ion system. So whoopsie on that one. My bad. Okay, right. So we took a knock from a missile in the side. The electro bolts weren't active much. These shields were very active because the enemy ship just went straight after this ion prism. So yeah, they love to hit these things, honestly, don't they? Oh dear. So yeah, I can see exactly what Polar Bear was on about. Anyway, sorry, moving on. We were just talking about Dammer and cannon broadsides. Dammer responded to Hello Hell's thing saying, just thought something akin to Warhammer 40k Imperial Navy battleship could be pretty awesome. And yes, I agree. I don't know how well cannon shells hold up to massed defense, but I know I'm at least professional in the tournaments. I didn't see that much in terms of actual anti-missile defense. I'm guessing enough. Ooh. Yeah, target that electro bolt, please. Alright. Oh. Yeah, went straight for the iron prism. That iron prism is something they love to shoot at. It's a shame, really, but part of the reason they got that was because there was an electro bolt firing on it. So, you know, that's not actually that surprising. The electro bolts knocked the shields out, and once the shields were gone, there was no defense left for the prism itself because we can't protect it. Hey. Anyway, moving on. That's actually it for the comments. But yeah, so it's like I think the cannons probably might be okay en masse. They'll certainly be useful in bounty hunter mode as it is now. I don't know about future campaign. I just never really used them much, even when I was poking with Cosmoteer previously. I'd use them sometimes and I found them useful, but I never really tried much. You know? Yeah, I think I'm good at this difficulty. If I'm going to be honest, though, when thinking about the prisms, I feel like the ion system is not quite there. It needs an expansion of some kind. Ooh, yeah, electro bolts. My arch nemesis. That's one of the good things of having these prisms, actually, because it lets me just focus the ion beam to knock them straight out. Look at them go. Minor damage. Yeah, from where electro bolts knocked out the shielding. Okay. My thought is this. I'd propose 2 more ion prisms, but they would be variants. Like they would both be worse at combining than the stock prisms. They'd be more expensive. They would actually need power to operate as well. But I think they could help to make a more versatile and flexible ion-based system. At least that's what I'm trying to aim at. I'm not trying to make something overpowered, because I know that's usually a bad idea. Oh, ouch, this ship uses a lot of power. Actually, I might need to start trying to hit up elites. I'll do that next time. We're about at the end of the episode. My thought is this, though. One ion prism type, which is like a beam splitter. So the idea is you get a single beam. It can't merge beams, but you can feed into it, and then it can feed out into like 1, 2, or 3 maybe sub beams. So that'd be one in each direction except for the intake side. The thing is, though, it would get less efficient the more it was splitting. And it would also be a slight downgrade in terms of efficiency, even if it's only routing to 1. But the purpose of this is it would mean that you wouldn't have to like manually re-aim a crystal like you have to right now if you want to switch it between emitters. Like this one, if I had another crystal here, I could tell it to go to that one, but I'd have to click it and tell it each time. But this would be an auto splitter. But the cost would be in terms of, as I said, like more expensive. Needs power supply to run. Oh yeah. Yeah, more expensive, needs power supply to run, and also less efficient. And the efficiency gets worse the more beams it splits as well. So yeah, that'd be that. And the other thing I'd think would be like an armored ion emitter, like an armored prism. So it'd be like that. Again, it need power. Again, it'd be more expensive, but it would actually be tough. And it would be like a weapon room, kind of like if you like a turret kind of thing, like one of these. And it would have a 45-degree firing arc, maybe. Again, it would lose a little bit of beam efficiency, but it would be a lot harder to knock out than an ion beam prison stock, which is, again, I'm not trying to replace it, so you'd be losing some damage potential as well as the increased expense and the power requirement to operate it. Like, you'd have to feed it power just like one of the main ion beam emitters themselves. But I think it would be a fair trade to do that and get something tough enough to use as a weapon mount, rather than have an ion beam prism at the front, which I think feels a little bit kind of improvised to me, if I'm honest, because it's so fragile and so easy to damage, and the AI actually likes to target it just because it's so easy to knock it out compared to armor plating. So some kind of reinforced version I think would be a good addition. Okay. But yeah, okay, that's my little rant, and it's like, I don't know, there's probably some ion mods or something. I usually don't look up the, what? Okay, yeah, I think I might be a bit powerful for the enemies at this level, so yeah, definitely next time bump up the difficulty again to elites. Or was it Vanguard? Bump up the difficulty to this next tier, which is... No, veterans, sorry. Vanguard are the top ones, elites I think are the next one down, aren't they? Which ones are elites? Am I murdering the elite ones? No, there's an elite one. Okay, I was remembering correctly, okay. But yeah, that was my thoughts on an ion base upgrade, which probably has been thought of and done already. But that would be my take on it, so yeah. I'm afraid I'll have to end it there though. So, the Grand Shaft is coming along quite nicely. It needs some work. I need to extend the decorations a bit. And I need to rechristen it because apparently I wiped out the bit saying Grand Shafts, unfortunately. Oh well. But yeah, this has been Mark 3. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. And I'll catch you all some other time. As the Grand Shaft Warhammer spider thing continues in its bounty hunting job. Or something. Look, I don't know. I don't tend to pre-script these rambling outros much. Okay? See you all later.